home for podcasts, live streams, and unfiltered conversations. This is Dallas On Air.
The Groove, a podcast that's a transformational show about dance and the people's journey to success. That's just a vibe. Welcome to the couch.
The Groove, sponsored by the flyest station in the nation, flyradio.com. Your station for music lovers. Listen live 24 hours on flyradio.com. Download our app from the Google Play Store for talent or advertising opportunities. Please call 773-FLY-DIVA, otherwise known as 773-359-3482.
Some stories are told with words, others with a different language. The groove. Feel the rhythm, embrace the moment. On Dallas On Air.
The Groove, a podcast that's a transformational show about dance and the people's journey to success. That's just a vibe. Welcome to the couch.
Welcome to The Groove, and welcome to the couch. I'm excited to see everyone. It's been a while since we've been looking at each other because I've had other business to take care of. But I am glad and super excited to have one of my favorite DJs and good friends with us tonight. She is the first person that's been on The Groove 2 times. So please welcome Fly Diva.
Well, good evening, Adrian. How are you?
I am doing wonderful, and the hat is on point as always.
Literally pointing.
Yeah. So how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. How about yourself?
I am super, super excited to have you on today, and super,
Excited
super
to be
excited
here.
to talk about all of the entrepreneurialships that you have that people may not be aware of. That way they can find another way to advocate and get your goods and services.
Absolutely. That would be great.
So where are you playing next? Because you have a calendar of events I saw.
Oh my goodness, yes. So actually Friday, I'll be in Atlanta with the United Steppers of Atlanta. And I'm looking forward to that. And this is actually, believe it or not, my first time ever playing in Atlanta,
Okay.
period.
So you typically just go visit. You don't play. Now you're
Correct.
playing.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. I get to play around a little bit this time.
All right. And what night is that?
Friday night. So, United Steppers of Atlanta. There's quite a few of them promoting on the event. I was actually invited down by Eric Eway Felder,
Okay.
and I believe I'll be joining him, or he'll be joining me on the ones and twos, however you want to look at it. So, I get
Okay.
an opportunity to play for Atlanta.
Oh, you'll love that. They're all about getting the groove in. They are
Absolutely.
all about that, especially with all of the historic things they have in Atlanta for steppers. Where else
Yes,
will you be?
absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, what did you say? I'm sorry.
Where else will you be working?
So, actually, here at home, I have 2 residencies. One on a Sunday at a place called the R Lounge. We used to do a later set, but we do a day set now. And then I also have a new residency. I just began with the relationship. It's a restaurant called Poppin' Corks. Real cool, sexy place. It's a bistro. And so Fly Diva and crew comes in and we kind of set the tone. DJ Lady Love will be filling in for me this Friday.
Oh, because you'll be somewhere
I'll
else.
be in Atlanta. Exactly. Yeah, I can't be in two places at one time, Adrian. I would love to, but I just can't be in two places at one time.
So you can't twinkle your nose like I Dream of Jeannie and
You know what?
just
I could, but two of me would be dangerous on the same night. Would be dangerous. And then in November, I get the opportunity to play in New Orleans first time and North Carolina with Sophia Sophia. So New Orleans will be the Black Tie Affair with Infinity Emotion. That's Terrence Martin and Eric Gordon. They do a scholarship weekend down there.
Terrence called me, I think 2 days ago, and said, "Hey man, I know you came last year. You gonna come?" I said, "Listen, all transparency. The only reason I was able to come last year is because I had a football game in New Orleans, and it happened to be the same weekend. I doubt if that
Wow.
happens this weekend. This year. So I don't know. That schedule is not out yet. So I don't know if I'll
Well,
be
not
making it. But if not, it's because of college football.
you got to twinkle your nose like a genie now.
No, I'd rather be at an advocacy where I can get paid versus spend money.
Listen, I
I'm a hoarder.
understand. I totally understand. Totally understand.
I'm so a hoarder. I would rather not than to do. I can dance at any time.
Absolutely.
And then, do you have anything in December?
December, what am I doing in December? If I'm not traveling, I've got a bit here in Chicago. I know I'm over at the Grand Ballroom with promoters Twan and well, that's Silk and Donna. I have two New Year's Eve parties actually. So I'm doing a day party over at Visions with the Dancing Dabneys. And then I'll be joining Myron and a host of other DJs. DJ Lady Love will also be one of the DJs there on an event that they do out in Oak Brook every year.
Okay. So,
So, as far as out of town, I believe I do not have any travels in December, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with
well,
because
you ought to be
traveling out of
tired and resting from
Chicago,
everything you have leading up to December and including December.
well, no, no,
So
you
you
got
can
to get it while the getting is good.
don't leave it on the table. It will dissipate.
Absolutely not. And if I forgot something from December, the promoters just don't charge it to my heart, charge it to my head. But I'm checking as we're talking. I believe that's all I have. And then in January, I kick off the year doing Style Masters with Damon Rose in
Hmm.
Norfolk, Virginia. Always a fun time down there. So that'll be Martin Luther King weekend.
And then the show comes back to Dallas.
And then I'm right back in Dallas.
I am so excited to have you on Valentine's weekend,
Yeah.
Sweetie's Day.
Well, okay. Now, yeah, it is Valentine's, isn't it?
Yeah, but I do a little something different. So I always every lady that comes, and now
Mm-hmm.
men are kind of acting funny too. But I give
Mm-hmm.
all the ladies a box of chocolate in case the people in their life haven't stepped up or filled the gap or taking care of the need or working in call centers. It's a day I don't look forward to because everybody is stalking everyone else who gets goodies at work, not
Oh my
realizing that
goodness.
they may have a whole spread waiting for them at home. So they leave work with an attitude because didn't get any flowers or candy or anything like that. And it's just kind of the gist of a call center. On that day, I is a day. So I just go into my budget and I just buy everybody treats. Men, women alike. Listen, don't say you didn't get anything. You're appreciated for your work and your services. But I give all the ladies chocolates, and then my vegans that don't eat things with eggs, I get um, some chocolate that they could eat as well. So,
Okay.
and most of the times I have a mini champagne flute of prosecco that I
Okay.
give while it lasts.
Well,
So if they're not coming for the DJ, they're coming for
for the chocolates.
for the chocolate. Now we can do two in one. We can have a chocolate DJ and a
Uh-oh.
chocolate in a box, but you can only probably take one with you. Because I think you
Wow.
probably on a plane the next day.
Well, no vegan chocolates for me.
Okay, all right.
No
So
vegan. Look, hint, hint, turtles. Hint, hint.
see, I know what turtles are because when I was able to eat chocolate, that was one of my favorite.
That's what you had. Okay.
Yeah, with the caramel
Okay.
and the pecans. I'm anything about pecans. I'm
Absolutely.
about that life.
Absolutely.
Good. So what else do you have going on? You have a lot going on. So I know that I introduced, you're one of my sponsors as far as Fly Diva Radio. Why don't you tell us what you have going on with that? Because when Lady Love, when I picked her up, she goes, "What are
Uh-huh.
you listening to?" I said, "Just keep on listening." And
Uh-oh.
she goes, "Oh, you're listening to Fly Diva?" I said, "Yeah, I am." So tell people how they can tune in. Tell them what you do, what you have. Kind of let the people
Okay,
know.
so the brand generally is Fly because you're gonna hear me talk about a lot of different things tonight, but they all tie into each other. So Fly Diva actually started as a brand, as a boutique, as the hat, the glasses, the hair, the that's where the whole name came from. And I
Okay.
would go out and DJ, and while I was DJing, I would sell my wares literally off my body. I think I told you that in our first interview. And so,
See, but hold
as
on. But when you
uh-huh.
said that, I didn't think of it then like I think of it when you just said, when you just shared
Listen,
it. Like
listen.
I like I know you're not walking out of there butt naked because you just
Oh my
sold
God.
everything off your back.
If they had it their way, Adrian, I mean it's all love. I like it, but it's the women, they, oh, I like your earrings. And I just look, I had one lady, I said, "Well, here you go." And I tell you, that lady took my earrings and put them right in her ear holes out of my ear holes. I was like, I was like, wait a minute. She said, "Well, you thought I wasn't gonna wear them?" I said, "I did not think you would do that," but she did that.
Like she
So
didn't clean them, wipe them
no,
off, find a
she
little
did
alcohol
no,
wipe, a
and
little
no,
glass wipe,
no,
just straight
no,
from your
no.
ears to hers.
Just straight from mine to hers because they matched the outfit that she had on that night.
So you're telling me a woman stepped out to go dancing. Was she dancing? And
Yes.
she was not properly accessorized?
I don't know what she had going on, but she had to have my earrings, and I gave them to her. I gave them to her, and that happens a lot. That happens a lot where I'm asked for my stuff, and I'm joking when I say here, but if they take them, I don't say that I wasn't joking because I shouldn't have said it. So, uh,
So you just
so
out there now you just told the world that I'm giving away all my accessories and you don't have
listen,
to pay me any
no,
type of penance.
no, I'm not. That is how the store evolved, and I became a boutique. So
Okay.
just going
Okay.
through the fly because you actually asked about the radio station, but I'm giving you the whole
Let,
rundown.
let's go
The
through that
radio
because we
station.
weren't able to get through all of this the first time. So I want everyone else to know what I'm finding out. I know some of it, but uh,
Understood. So I was branded Fly Diva by somebody. There was a woman that was a bartender here in Chicago at several places, and every time she saw me, she just would tell me that I stay fly. You're fly. That was the word that people used to describe my style, I guess, if you will. So when I started DJing, I came with the name Fly Diva, and it just kind of stuck with me. So as time went on, when I had my boutique, it was actually called Diva Made Customs. And I started out making glasswares, then I graduated over to custom apparel, and then that's when the whole boutique and all that stuff came. And in during that time, I was also tied up into radio. I used to be a part of a radio station called Club Steppin', and
I remember that radio station.
yeah, Club Steppin'
Okay.
is an internet station, but it had also made its way to the FM dial here in Chicago. So I came aboard on the tail end of the FM dial part.
Okay.
And I've always done my custom apparel. So that was still ongoing as I was doing radio.
Uh-huh.
And that was also my introduction into the Steppin community because that particular station was his genre is stepping. That's
Okay.
just what he does. So he did a lot of things within the community. When I came aboard, then I got a little bit more exposed into the community, and there you have it. That's kind of how I met all of you guys.
Okay.
And so as the DJ thing started to take off for me, somewhere in there, a little bit after COVID, I was no longer with Club Steppin', and I was just continuing to do my boutique wears and all my little fly apparel. And when I started DJing more, I sat down with a couple of lady DJs. DJ Lady Love, Sizzle the DJ. It was a couple of us, and we just sat down and we shared how difficult it is to be heard in a male dominated arena. A lot of us were getting work, and we still are getting work. We've had mentorship from some of the most awesome DJs in the community. But as we were talking, I wanted to do something different, Adrian. I like to be the change. I like
Hmm.
to. I just like to do that. I love helping people and helping myself if I can while I'm at it. So it was put in my spirit. I was already teaching. We'll get on to that, workshops and mentoring people. But it was just put on my heart to create a platform where women could play. And so that was kind of what started it. And it was a situation where you don't even have to play step in music. Just make it fly. Play some fly. And
Hmm.
so fly became a thing, and Fly Radio was born. Just that easy. And since then, I've been on air a little bit over a year, and things have just spiraled into a whole nother direction. Whereas this thing that was intended to be a hobby is slowly turning into a business.
Okay.
And so then the boutique was always in my mind a form of marketing, because my biggest client were always businesses that would come to my boutique for custom apparel for their businesses.
Oh,
So
so it
when
was it wasn't the people that you just ran into at a set or anything like that. These were
no,
corporations and organizations. Gotcha.
absolutely.
Okay.
So I definitely did a lot of networking with people of the community.
Hmm.
And a lot of them I considered businesses, because when they would come, they would purchase in bulk. A lot of the step in promoting groups.
Okay.
So I ideally would go out and DJ in hopes to network with the proprietor or the promoter of said event.
Okay.
Because a lot of the promoters, they deal with numbers.
Hmm.
Whether they have a troop behind them, or the attendees that will come to their functions.
Right.
So there are a couple of brands that you've seen that I have had the pleasure of branding one way or another, whether it's on a banner, a T-shirt, a tablecloth. DJ Samsonite, I did a tablecloth for him. Myron's on a Thursday. Uh, After Seven Productions here in Chicago, Dre and Company, Taste of Sugar, Dancing Davines, to name a few, are some of the networks that I was able to work with in the stepping community. And all
So
that just came from me being in the room DJing.
okay, so you've been in my room a few times,
Yes,
and I need to see a
absolutely.
catalog where all these other people have something. What do I need to do to be considered somewhat of a network?
So you didn't let me get to you, Mr. Groove Theory. I had the pleasure, and you didn't know until our first interview that I even did all these things.
I had no
So
clue.
I had the pleasure, and I want to say thank you. I really want to thank you, because you got all those t-shirt vendors right there in your neighborhood, and you came all the way to Chicago
Hmm.
and allowed me the opportunity to service you and the graduates of your groove theory class, dance class. So I totally appreciate you for that.
They and I love those shirts.
Thank you.
They
Thank you.
wear them. I'm not going to say that, but they like those shirts a lot.
Good.
And I like the versions of the shirts you did for me as well. I wear those a lot. I think I may have wore one every week I've been in class.
The
Not
ones
not
with
even
you.
the old T-shirts, just the ones you made because they're so catchy and they feel good and they look great.
Thank you.
Hmm.
And when we first started the consultation part of your shirts, I said, "Oh my God, Adrian's gonna be a difficult client."
Why? Because I'm bougie on purpose?
Oh, Adrian's gonna be a difficult client, but I knew exactly what texture of cotton to get you. I did, I just knew exactly what texture. And when I say that, people look at me crazy, but I've been doing this thing. When I first started doing t-shirts, I thought a t-shirt was a t-shirt. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not. There's so many styles and grades of cotton and textures of shirts, and you got lightweight, heavyweight, soft weight, polyester feel, and I know it like the back of my hand now. So when I meet a client, I'm almost immediately in tune with what brand would fit this particular client,
Okay.
and it just makes things easier when I do it that
So
way.
you don't have a book of um, swatches
I did.
that you can feel the fabric like I used to do for my suits.
I did. So when I had a store, I actually had a store here in one of the suburbs of Chicago. I was in Alsip, Illinois,
Oh, it's a brick and
and
mortar.
I had an actual brick and mortar. I've
Oh,
had two. I've had two brick and mortars
do
during my
tell.
journey. I,
Do tell.
I was proud of myself too. I thought I was doing the darn thing, but so I had a brick and mortar, and when you would come in, I wish I had pictures to send you, but it was like 1,500 square foot place, very
Hmm.
very nice size place. And when you would come in the window, I actually had mannequins, and they would display a lot of the boutique items. So I actually sold jeans, pretty much everything you've seen me in. I used to sell in my store,
Okay.
from the hats to the glasses to the cut up jeans to all that type of stuff.
Okay.
And believe it or not, I hated t-shirts. I would never wear a t-shirt. I didn't start wearing t-shirts until I started branding myself. And someone said, "Why you're out here selling, brand? Why don't you wear your brand?" And I don't know. I didn't. My thing was I didn't like people dressing like me, Adrian. So I didn't want to wear what I was selling. So I just wouldn't. I wouldn't wear it.
Right. I can identify
Yeah.
with that.
I wouldn't wear it, but it just made sense. So if you could think back possibly to the first time you met me, I was probably wearing a t-shirt that said "Stay Fly."
You were.
And I wore "Stay Fly" probably for a whole year or two till it got to the point where I had branded myself as "Stay Fly." That's what
Okay.
people were calling me. And so Fly is the brand. And what makes Fly unique is the two Y's. So when you would come in my store, I had the boutique section in the window. And then, of course, I had "Stay Fly" all over the store. But on the wall, I called it the T-shirt Wall of Fame
Okay.
because I would have a couple of different things up there, but I would have people I've branded, that I've had the pleasure of doing their shirts, and I would also have the different textures of shirts. So when you would
Okay.
come in my store, I ideally wanted 20, 25 bucks for a t-shirt, right? A
Hmm.
lot of people would come in and they weren't having it. I'm not paying 25 bucks for a shirt. Well, guess what? I have a shirt for you. Now, it's probably hard. It might feel like a Brillo pad, but I do have a t-shirt for you. So I take them on down the Wall of Fame, and we would touch one of the rougher t-shirts. And by the time they touched that shirt, I got my $25. So that was the beauty of having the actual showroom, because I don't discriminate. I understand we all have different budgets, and believe it or not, there's a place for shirts like that.
Hmm.
So I would get people to come in and they would want shirts for volunteers. We're going to do a food drive. We got volunteers. We're giving away free shirts. Well, the hard shirt might work for you. It's a little thicker. It can take a beating. You don't care if it gets dirty. We can go. You don't need a $25 shirt. So I enjoyed my store. I did.
Okay.
I did.
And then, what made you transition from the store? Was it the societal changes, COVID, all of those other type of things that probably made you rethink the way you wanted to do that?
Yes. So the store came after COVID, so I can't
Okay.
quite blame COVID. But just the overhead, man. I had overhead uh, for work, and then I maintained my household,
Hmm.
and it just got to the point where I was either gonna be homeless or sleeping in my store.
And you don't live in New York where you can do that safely.
No. So I had to rethink things. It was a hard decision and a very bitter pill to swallow. Um, a humbling experience as well because I'm still in business and I don't have that overhead,
I
you
think
know.
I think that that's a great story to tell because what a lot of people don't realize, Diva, is that when we start embarking on becoming an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
we don't
Hmm.
take into account all of the necessaries that most people take for granted. For example, same thing in uh, your boutique is the same thing in the studio. There's lights, there's electricity, there's
Absolutely.
equipment, there's things that require that summarize as far as a cost, and and so you have to have as many people coming in there so you can have a return on your investment.
Absolutely.
And then when that's not matching because the bill don't quit coming. You know, that's what I learned about
Absolutely.
being grown. I thought I wanted to be grown until I
Hmm.
realized the bills never stop coming. And so I think the takeaway for me is you brought your dream to fruition.
Yes.
You doubled the capacity of your dream.
Hmm.
As a savvy business person, you pivoted and you're still living in your dream. Most
Yes.
people don't know how to pivot and they will crash and burn because they will try to
Yeah.
make it work. And that typically happens a lot in restaurants
Hmm.
where they're like, well, I'm gonna wait till I'm bankrupt and everything else before I give up this dream. Well, listen, your dream becomes a nightmare
Yes,
if
that
you
part.
don't decide to move differently and get out your own way, or have those around you that, like I do, to help you get out your way.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Having a team is important. It's extremely important. And nowadays you really don't need a brick and mortar and a million people behind you to make it happen
Hmm.
because there's so many resources and there's so many things that we have access to. While in the store, it was a boutique, but I tried to get creative to keep my store. I actually was hosting sip and paints
Okay.
after hours, and I hosted one sip and paint. And I decided I was just gonna have to close my doors. If I have to do that, I'm just gonna have to close my doors. I maybe it was the person that came in, but I put something on Eventbrite. The young lady came, she booked a little party, and it wasn't the sip and paint that she wanted to do. She wanted to do a game night. So she came in and she set up the games. And I'm not a liquored establishment. This is not a club, but discreetly I allowed them to bring alcohol in. Adrian, they had spilt alcohol all over my floor. They had somebody got drunk and threw up on my shirts on the wall. I'm like, how did you get that on the wall? They went in the bathroom and the toilet didn't flush no more. I said, you know what? I bet you I won't throw another party up in here. And I didn't.
People
And
don't
I
treat your
didn't.
stuff with any type of
It
dignity.
it's just not. And it was all a timing thing too, because I believe a lot of what I go through is spiritual. It's all about God's timing. And right after that is when my relationships with a lot of the people I met into the community got stronger. But I actually had a store big enough for stepping classes
Oh.
and things of that nature, but I just did not have the resources at the time and the network capacity
Hmm.
to network with some people who could have possibly helped me keep my store open by renting it out to them after hours.
Oh, okay.
So, but I did all types of creative things in an attempt to just get the extra revenue coming in. And then I wasn't open. I've learned a lot in business. I wasn't open to a lot of things that I'm open to now, and I'm doing a lot of those things now, and it just it continues to help with the overhead. I'm third partying a lot of stuff out now, and
Okay.
I'm just saving money left and right in comparison to what I was actually doing when I had the brick and mortar.
Because you're touching everything by hand,
I
your
was
own
touching
hands.
everything, and I had people tell me, "Listen, you need a third party this stuff out." And I'm neck rolling, and I'm like, "If I got a third party it out, then it ain't Divas Customs, you know." And I just had to get over myself. Like you said, sometimes you need people to help you get out of your way.
Hmm.
And the timing couldn't have been any better because I'm still in business. I've added on to my business. So I've always considered my store marketing because I don't want to get too far from that. And when I told you I started the radio station as a hobby, where I can actually use my radio station as a vehicle underneath my marketing belt.
Right.
And so my custom apparel continues to be a vehicle because that's branding. And now I'm getting a little bit more into content creation for business, not necessarily for personal people, where I have the capacity to put together um, graphic flyers, videos. You know, all that stuff is
Hmm.
huge now
Right.
on social media,
Hmm.
the reels. And so I'm kind of getting my hands wet with dibbling and dabbling with those types of things.
Yeah, you created
And
my QR code.
yeah, QR codes, all that.
Hmm.
Don't start. Don't start. I already know where you going. Don't
I'm
start.
just
Don't
acknowledging what
don't
you have,
start.
what you do, and what you can provide.
Thank you. I appreciate
That's
that.
it. So let's talk about this apparel. So
Uh-huh.
when most people think about apparel, they think about things such as clothing items and stuff like that. But
Okay.
your apparel catalog is much broader than that. Can you share what are some of the apparel things that people can try to procure from you, and how can they go about trying to do that?
Absolutely. So the phone number, which I'll give out several times, you can reach me at 773-359-3482. There may be another number on the flyer you have. Either number is fine. That's 773-359-3482. Um, I also have a website, Fly Media Marketing. There are two Y's in Fly. It just more so give you information. But in terms of the items that you can get from me, I do full apparel. So whether that's a T-shirt, whether that's scrubs, I've done work for the medical field. Um, Hoodies, sweaters. I've done polo shirts. I've done hats. I can tap into embroidery. So if you want to do baseball cap and you want to get that cap embroidered, I've done jackets. Pretty much anything you can wear. It doesn't boil down to what type of apparel. Really, pretty much boils down to the material. And I work with cotton, poly, spandex, things of that nature. I do deal with heat press, so I don't recommend anything that if it can't take heat, then I don't touch it.
You do
So
banners
that's
as
that's
well,
rule
don't
of
you?
thumb. I do banners, yes, I
Okay.
do tablecloths.
So
Um,
what is entailed in a banner if somebody wanted a banner?
So if you wanted a banner, we do a quick consult.
Hmm.
Within the consult, we'll find out what the design is. If I am designing for you, we will go through that, what you want.
Right.
We'll pull up, draft up the proof and things of that nature. Um, Payment and production. That's it's pretty much that simple. The turnaround time for a banner depends on the type of banner. We do fabric banners. I personally recommend fabric banners if you travel because you can just fold it up like a sheet and take it with you. But then I do retractable banners. There are tabletop banners. There are all types of banners. There's a banner for every type of business lifestyle that would be out there.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm in the process of getting some pictures together of my previous graduating classes so I can redo my banners because they're somewhat outdated.
Okay, absolutely.
Hmm.
Could never have too many banners. Never have too many
Well, the
banners.
two that I have are now inoperable, so
You
they've expanded their lifetime, and those are the ones you saw them where they're in the contraption and you pull it up and hang it on a pole.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Those are the retractable
Hmm.
banners.
Are those obsolete now?
No,
Oh,
they
okay.
very popular.
Okay, I'm okay if they are. You'll tell me off air. You can tell me on air too. I need you to
No, they're
progress a
fine.
little bit. So you have your apparel, and people can get a hold of you that way. On
Uh-huh.
the Fly Media, is it .com? Is it .net? Is it
It's .com.
.com?
It's
So
.com.
so FLYY Media
YYmedia.com.
.com. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now what else? You have other things going on.
So the Fly brand is everything. Flymedia.com is now the parent of everything underneath it, including DJ Fly Diva, even though she was around first.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about that because someone asked me about you the other day.
Okay.
And how would you describe yourself as a DJ?
That's a loaded
I
question,
know,
Abe.
on purpose. I'll give you some
Oh,
context. I'll give you some context.
okay, come on.
Okay, so you and I have had conversations about musicianship,
Yes.
things of that nature.
Uh-huh.
So some people in the genre of stepping like slow music, some people like fast music, some people like a moderation of both of them. I typically dance to the slower paced songs. I think that's just where I want to be.
Okay.
Where do you like to be before you realize the mood of the room?
Well, I am the mood of the room.
Oh, okay. Yes, you are.
I am it. You know what, Adrian? For me, it's a couple of different things. So the answer to that question, when I walk into your Friday set, may be different when I walk into a Sunday set or a set over here. And it's not really the day of the week. It's the energy for me. It's
Okay.
it's what I'm feeling when I walk inside. I classify myself as a DJ. I don't say I'm a slow DJ or a fast DJ or this or that DJ. I classify myself as a lover of music who has the mental and musical capacity to touch every person in that room musically. You're gonna pop a finger, you're gonna nod a head, you're gonna shake and shimmy, you're gonna tap your foot. I'm gonna speak to everybody in that room at some point in that night with a song. And when I start my set, to kind of answer your question, I typically DJs, we're the first ones there. So we're typically playing for ourselves and the staff. And I'll just play. And as people are coming in, the first person I get, I stay on that person for a little while.
Okay.
Musically. Musically, so it's kind of like the Pandora rule for me. So if I'm playing, I've been at parties where I'm just playing around. I may have been hired at a party, let's say a private party. I
Mhm.
may have been hired to, they may say, play R&B and a little steppers music. But
Mhm.
when I get there, all the aunties and the grandmas are there. So I might hit them with a little something out of my Motown folder,
Okay.
right? I might hit them with a little Aretha Franklin or something like that. And if they groove into that, we gonna stay Motown just for a little while until the majority of the room gets there, and then I can kind of go in other arenas. So I let the energy feed me, and then I feed the room off of that energy.
I love that. I love that. I love that a lot.
And that
So
energy changes.
you sent us something, and we're gonna play one of them real quick.
Okay. Uh-oh. All right.
I love that, by the way.
Thank you.
It's one of the few times I've seen you without a hat on.
Uh-oh.
So
You
so
almost got me tonight. Almost.
so that is your marketing. That
Yes.
is the brand that everything falls up under, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. And
Yes.
I really liked it. Like the music, I liked the components that it had that showcase who you are.
Yes, thank you. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. A lot of,
so there's the DJing,
uh-huh.
there's the radio. How does someone try to let me rephrase that. The selection of who gets an opportunity to be on Fly Radio, what does that look like?
The selection process. So initially, um, the process wasn't that complicated initially as I was getting things off the ground. Now I look for experience. I do.
Hmm.
What happened?
Oh, nothing.
Okay, so now I look for a more polished person. Although it's not mandated, but that's what I look for.
Okay.
It just makes it all a better sound. It makes it easier. Makes it all of that. So most of us who are involved in radio have an interest in radio or are already in radio.
Hmm.
And so my selection process wasn't really that hard because a lot of the conversations went, hey, either myself saying, hey, I love your show, you should bring it over here, or them saying, hey, I love the station, what do I have to do to get my show on your platform?
Right.
And the majority of the talent that I have, if not all of them, they're of the community. And so it's really not a hard process. To anybody going forward, I do have a team. Amanda Russell, some of you all are familiar with Amanda Russell. She is the right hand man when it comes to flyradio.com. The marketing piece, the promotions piece, and she and I will sit down and we have argued over who should stay and who should go. So it's not a it's not a simple if I say so. No, I value her opinion. So and we kind of look for a polished professional, a person who can articulate well. One of the things that she and I constantly go head to head over, and I'm actually with her on it. I just have to play devil's advocate sometimes. Is we are not a stepper station.
That part.
We are not a stepper station. So, one of the biggest disconnects between us and the talent is that the conversation always starts with this. Well, I'm not a steppers DJ and I want to play this and I want to play that. Well, come on, because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a fly sound. I'm looking for something different. I'm looking for what we don't hear when we're on the set.
Hmm.
You know, I'm looking for even some throwback 90s music because it's obsolete in the clubs nowadays.
Hmm.
So when I get a DJ on the station, they're playing stepping music. And I'm like, what are you doing? So it's great music, but it's hard to say you're jamming, but we don't want to hear that.
Right.
And so there's a disconnect there. So what I do is I try to take the time and chat with everybody individually. I try to fine tune everybody. And so the saving grace with stepping music is to me, all genres can be stepping.
I had a discussion with someone, and you and I have talked about it before. They're like, man, they're not playing stepping music. I said, what's that? He said, what do you
Right.
mean? I said, that's not a category.
Yeah,
It's nowhere in American Music Awards. It's nowhere in Grammys. It's nowhere. It's just music.
it is.
It's a
It
preference
is.
of the pace and tempo you like, but it's no such
Mm-hmm.
thing as stepping music. Man,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it is. I don't care how long you've been stepping, sir.
Hmm. It's music you
Show
can
me who
step to.
got a Grammy for stepping music.
Hmm. It's music you can step to.
Just
So
like
if
polka
I can
dancing.
pull the people out of that, and I guess because I DJ in the community, even when I meet DJs, they're so excited to show me that they can play stepping music, and I'm just like over it. Like,
Okay, so we have Fly Media.
yes,
Then we have your apparel business.
yes,
And we have your DJing.
uh huh.
Let's talk about your schooling of those things.
Okay. So DJing was the first thing that I taught. So I started really just mentoring and not teaching. I don't want to use the word teaching, but I started mentoring back in 2016. I have what I call a lot of adopted sons. I have a daughter, just one child, but everybody's son became my son. And so all the young boys that would come by, they would be fascinated with the DJ equipment. And so my first two students were actually young men that I considered like sons to me. They were like godsons.
Hmm.
One became a rapper. His name is Lil Dilla. He actually has music out on YouTube, but he was my very first one that I started working with on the DJ side. And
Okay.
then there was a young man that graduated with my daughter from grammar school. He came by for a birthday party. He saw the equipment. He got excited. He thought my husband at the time was the DJ, and my daughter said, "No, my mom was the DJ." And so she told him. So anyway, I started working with him, and he actually went pretty far with it. But by the time he got to college, he got involved with work and young ladies. I think he kind of abandoned it for a little while, but it didn't stop there for me.
Okay.
So the school that my daughter graduated from, um, I had become a vendor by way of my t-shirt business. So the school had become a client of mine on the t-shirt side. And while I'm in there, I said, "Well, y'all know I DJ, right?" So next thing you know, I didn't want to DJ for the kids and in terms of their parties and whatnot. But next thing you know, I had a DJ workshop inside school. So one
Oh,
of the after school programs, I facilitated a program in which I mentored a couple of kids on the DJ side. I believe they were grades fifth through eighth.
okay.
Hmm. And so I did that for a while, and I have continued since 2016 to mentor people upon request, and then I've had two women workshops since that. So currently, that piece isn't active, but that piece isn't dead. I'm coming back with it. I just have not rebooted the workshop piece.
Okay. I like that.
Hmm.
You sent us something
Hmm.
else we want to show.
Okay.
The fly, I think it's a flyer, I believe. You sent me two things, right?
Yeah, I sent the three things. So there's a flyer, but the flyer is also in the t-shirt slide.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm.
Well, let us pull that up.
Okay.
Yes, this is it.
That
Tell me,
is it.
tell me about this. This is everything in the kit and caboodle, right?
Yeah, so everything I do, I actually, Adrian, including the DJing, is all a part of marketing. The custom T-shirts are typically more of a personal service. I get people come and they just want a shirt for this or a shirt for that. I did quite a few shirts for a few breast cancer awareness walks this month, and things of that nature. The branded apparel, the branded display items we discussed for business. That's like the banners and the custom T-shirts, hoodies, things of that nature. Social media content. We talked about that a little bit. That's the content creation for business where I physically go out to a business establishment, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a clothing store, whether it's, believe it or not, Adrian, actually, a new client prospect of mine was an adult toy store. And I went inside the store. I took video. I took
Are you supposed
pictures.
to like snap your fingers to that or something, to clap your
Listen,
hands?
listen.
Hercules,
Well,
Hercules.
marketing is marketing, right? They got all these things you can just only imagine, right? But as as the content creation piece, they were interested. A lot of people are interested in getting their stuff out there on social media. A lot of businesses
What
don't even
stuff?
have a business page.
I'm
Home
way
sales,
in the middle of the street.
all the things. So I had the pleasure of walking through an adult toy store and capturing video footage and pictures of the things that I saw. And I am currently putting together content pieces for them to use on their social platforms. So that's the social media content creation piece.
Okay, we're going to transition from this 800 number business you have going on.
So as you can see, I deal with more than just dance businesses. I go out and I don't turn it down to any of the businesses.
Okay. So
Not yet.
we have the social media group, we have the apparel, we
Yes.
have the schooling of musicianship,
Yes.
we have the art form of DJing,
Yes.
we have the apparel and all of the other things that are branded from a corporation or content perspective.
Absolutely.
Did we cover everything?
Yes, and the DJ portion, a lot of people overlook that. As a DJ, I am an influencer. So I have a microphone in my hand. That's a marketing piece. I actually sell that. So I get people, I tell them, hey, I go to these parties, I'm DJing in front of 500, 400, 300. I haven't quite hit 1,000 yet. But you've been to the parties. I'm in the room.
Yeah.
So in the room,
And the floor is packed.
yeah, I wear the influencer hat. So even in a situation where I may not be DJing, depending on what it is, I may be able to get a DJ to say something.
Okay,
You know,
so you're gonna help me become an influencer when I dance now.
you should be.
And
You should be.
here's how we're gonna
You should.
transition.
You
This
should
coming
be.
Thursday, tomorrow night, Groove Theory Dallas swing out class. We're about to put the flyer up since I'm learning how to be an influencer.
Oh, you gotta be an influencer. You have to always be selling. You have to always
Listen,
talk about what you're doing. You're in the room. You gotta
4,
talk
5,
about it.
6, 7, 8. Here we go. So we're gonna have swing out class tomorrow from 7 to 8 p.m. and line dancing class from 9 to 9:30. Also, the flyer
Absolutely.
that we have coming up for next month, we have
Uh-huh.
DJ Suave on second Friday.
Okay.
So looking forward to
Nice.
him, one of the
Oh,
Texas boys.
uh,
Yeah,
DJ Suave.
two
That
of your
ain't what I
guys,
call him.
DJ Suave, DJ Stevie
Okay.
Ray. They will be
Okay.
doing the second Friday. So excited about that. There's a
Nice.
lot of birthday parties that we will be
Okay.
celebrating. All the tables are almost sold out. And then in December, we will tease that Myron will be there. So
Absolutely.
it looks like you and I are about to run over, my friend.
I see.
Man, we're going to have to do a part 3. We may have to
So,
do something. You know what? I'm gonna think of something. I'm gonna think of something that you can do here when you're in town. So let's work on
okay.
that.
Okay. I
But
can
thank
try to
you so much
come
for
down on Tuesday.
joining. Thank you for sitting on the couch again.
Not a problem.
And I'm sure you're gonna be getting a whole bunch of calls from your flyers and things, all the things that you are branding.
Absolutely. And don't forget, I'll be in Atlanta, New Orleans, and North Carolina. And I can physically read any of you all's flyers. I'll be on the microphone now. I can read any of it. Just reach out to me.
Reach
Reach
out
out
to us
to
so you can
me.
get that call to get your event publicized. Thank you so much. You're the best. I will be chatting with you soon, probably in a few minutes.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us on the couch, everyone. Tune in every Wednesdays from 7 to 8 p.m. We have a treat next week, but I'm not going to tease it right now, but he's one of the coldest DJs in the land. This is one of the
Uh-oh.
coldest DJs in the land, so you can kind of see where we're going with this. So until then, stay blessed, stay refreshed, and be kind to someone.
Absolutely.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Dallas's home for podcasts, live streams, and unfiltered conversations.